Did you have it?
To tell you the truth, John, I don't remember.
Pay that man his money.
And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And Steve.
All night with your chick.
Today we're going to be reviewing the poker movie Rounders. But before we get into it, let's check out that trailer.
Yes, let's. Play that man his trailer.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
What's the limit here?
Big bet's $20.
Good, okay.
I bet that. Great.
You've seen half the hand. How the hell you betting into us?
We know what we're holding and we know what you're holding.
The hell
hell
you know what we all have.
Well, you were looking for that third three, but you forgot that Professor Green folded it on 4th Street, and now you're representing that you have it. The DA made his 2 pair, but he knows they're no good here. And Mr. Eisen is just futilely hoping that his queens are going to stand up.
Kiss my
Take it down.
All right, take a seat next to me.
I can't. I don't play cards.
Get out of here.
How can I concentrate with you looking like that?
Oh, get on. I'll be really quick. You won't feel a thing.
For the last 2 years, Mike McDermott has been doing the sensible thing. But his best friend just got out of jail.
I can't believe you still know someone called Worm.
The Hulk.
My brother.
Oh,
Domesticated yourself for this
just
girl.
got
He
out.
needs someone to lean on.
I need money. I gotta put some scratch together, man.
I consolidated your outstanding
He's a
debt.
real sleaze
25
bucket in
grand
this
and still
movie, by the
running.
way.
What I did was go partners with an old friend of yours.
We do what we used to do, man. You find the games, you scout them, I sit and I mop them up. Michael McDermott. I knew you'd be
Oh, 50 Cent.
Last night, I
Yes.
sat down at that table, and I felt alive. My blood was bubbling, my skin was tingling. I was James Colburn in The Magnificent Seven throwing knives.
Hold on there a second.
Whoa.
Guys,
You're right. I don't have it.
Reputation.
If you
Pocket
don't keep
pieces.
my money, then you are mine.
I vouched for the wrong guy, so now it's on me.
But I can't stay for this.
For what?
To watch you go all in again.
We can't run from ourselves. Our destiny chooses us.
Deal.
Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Turturro, John Malkovich, Gretchen Mol, Famke Janssen, and Martin Landau. Rounders.
What a fucking cast. What a
Okay,
fucking...
I'm ready.
It was a great movie.
Oh.
I this is one of my favorite poker movies of all time. A young reformed gambler must return to playing high-stakes poker to help a friend pay off loan sharks while balancing his relationship with his girlfriend and his commitments to law school. That, to me, that's not... I mean, it's part of the plot, but it's just straight poker, man. It's about a guy who took his shot and got beat, and now he's he basically quit poker and he got dragged back into it by his friend. And
Because let's start with the movie starts with him going around the house and picking out stacks of money from a Bible, from behind a painting, from random
Just
drawers.
bricks.
He
and-
goes to the shop and he gets what he says is 3 stacks of high society.
high society.
30
yeah.
grand, right?
30 grand.
Yeah.
10 so a stack of high society is $10,000.
10 grand.
And he thinks that he's got the boat with aces over 9.
With nines over
Nines
aces.
full of
Nines
aces,
over,
yeah.
yeah.
Nines over
Yeah.
aces. And fucking KGB has aces over 9s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
oh my god, dude. And so he just loses $30,000, which he says that's my tuition, that's my school, that's everything, which is why he goes to Kanish and he starts working the shit job of deliveries. And
Yep,
that's
he
You
He
know,
has the
if poker
truck.
players, if poker
has the truck.
players would have known the way he was betting that you had the second nuts of 9s full, that he could have pocket aces. So you're not going to go over the top and risk all of it, thinking
Yeah,
that
but
you had
the
the
thing
best
is
hands.
he was so in his head that he had it set with the full house. I would have made
Yeah.
the same mistake. I would have made the same mistake, going, no way KGB has pocket nines or pocket aces.
Pocket aces,
No
yeah.
way he has pocket aces.
Yeah,
He thought he put him on the straight, I think
Especially
it
with
was.
the way KGB
Yeah.
was betting. He
Yeah.
was betting just so
he
nonchalant.
put him on the flush. He put him on the flush.
Yeah.
Is what he did. He put him on the flush. He's like, he hit his flush, but I have a boat. Unfortunately, KGB. He says he knew it as soon as he said it. He knew it.
Yeah.
Pocket aces,
He thought he had the flush.
Yeah, as a poker player, very, very rarely do you ever put anybody on pocket aces.
Yeah.
Like, I never think anybody has that. Well, I won't say never. There are occasions where I will think
There's
that.
some people, the way they play it, they've got aces in their hands.
Yeah. Yeah, there are
You
occasions.
know who
gotta
you are, people that watch our podcast and friends. You know who you are.
Yeah. And it's true. You do not only play your cards, but you play the player as well, which has taken me a long time to get to that point. It took me a long time to get to that point, but I think I can read some people pretty well, especially if I've played with them before.
Yeah.
Like if I sit at a table for about an hour, maybe two, I can pick up on things, but I got to be able to sit there for that long to do that.
2 hours.
Yeah, but yeah, and that's what made me fall in love with the game. Is you're not just playing the cards dealt to you, you're playing the player. Love this movie. This movie is a great movie. I think it is a very authentic representation of what a true grinder goes through, in my personal opinion, at least in that time period, because that was right before Chris Moneymaker hit, and it was just a great time period, especially for poker players. I love the references to Doyle Brunson, to
Johnny Chan.
Yeah, all of them, great references. But that is my first impression on rewatch. Steve, what was your first impression on rewatch?
I mean, I've pretty much been talking about how much I love this movie since the podcast in
Yeah.
terms of y'all. No, this movie is amazing. I saw it in my 20s. It's the movie that made me fall in love with poker. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't Maverick. Yeah, man, I love Hold'em. Hold'em is probably my favorite card game next to 5-card draw.
Omaha.
I'm Omaha.
Okay, so I've been playing cards literally probably my whole life. When I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, I'd go to my grandfather's house over the weekends, and he taught me at 5 or 6 how to play blackjack and how to play 5-card draw.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's usually the first games kids learn. Like I think we learned 5-card draw. Yeah.
We learned 5-card draw and stud.
At 5 years old.
Yeah, 5 maybe a little young.
I don't know how many times that our grandfather was playing penny poker with my dad and our uncles at the house.
I legit in elementary school. I was in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I was playing 5-card draw with people for pennies and nickels, like during lunch.
They would always have a game with our uncles and my dad, and yeah.
Yeah. What's bad is once you actually get into poker, your knowledge starts expanding. You don't just play Hold'em. You start playing Omaha. You start playing Chinese poker, which to me is one of the funnest games. Chinese poker, because you can play with 2 people. It's such a fun game.
My friends and I had for like a year or two when I was in San Diego had a weekly game going, and I forget the rules, but we had a game called Red Dog. And it was.
I don't know that one.
It was a blast. My friends and I would get drunk and we'd play Up the River, Down the River. Do you know Up the River, Down the River? See, me and my friends, not so much. See these. So up.
Y'all
the
just
river,
make some shit up out in California. Huh?
Up the River, Down the River.
Yeah, like we don't make shit up in our.
Up the River, Down the River is a drinking game more than an actual card game.
Drinking game. I gotcha.
But Red Dog is 100% like a poker.
That's a beer.
I'd have to look up the rules for it. But yeah, Red Dog. I love this movie. I love this movie, man. I love poker. I love it in general. Mikey, what about you?
No, I'm the same way. What I thought was so cool about this movie is when Matt Damon goes back and he's playing Malkovich, and he picks up on the Oreos, his tell
Yeah.
on the Oreos, and then Teddy KGB is like, "Holy shit, it's the Oreos!" And he
What's so
slaps him
funny is
over.
that's like one of the biggest tell. It's the most obvious tell of
Obvious
anything.
tell. Even at the beginning when he pulls out the Oreo and he makes the call, it was a tell that he has a strong hand.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have a strong hand the way he did the Oreo before, or the second time. So he threw it down, right? So he threw it down because he knew he was strong, but Matt Damon finally picked that up. And I thought that was like, oh, that was his tell. That worked out.
Yep.
So it made him stronger and it made him understand the game. And it's stuff like that where you sit down at a table, like you said, for an hour or two, and you pick up on how strong they bet, and then you can see what hand they had, and then you remember that. Well, they bet this big and they had a big hand. So if they bet big again, more than likely they're going to do the same thing.
So
or they should.
So it's Maverick where he goes, "I'll lose the first hour of the game."
Yes.
Yeah.
And he picks up all the tells.
tells.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I looked it up really quick. Red Dog, which is also known as Yablon, is a game of chance played with cards in which two cards are dealt and a player bets on whether the rank of the third card will be basically higher or lower.
Oh, it's hollow.
Yeah, it's a variation of AC Deucey or In Between.
Yeah. AC Deucey In Between, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a game that me and my friends would get drunk and we'd play, poker, and then we play that, and there were a couple other variations.
So
In Between is a shit game.
It is terrible. In Between is terrible. So one thing I wanted to show the viewers that can see it, one of the pieces of memorabilia I've had for
so if you're listening on
years,
the podcast, you have to jump over to YouTube.
So, we'll explain it to them. So it's an 8x10 movie poster of Rounders.
I would just
that is actually autographed by Matt Damon, Gretchen Mol, John Malkovich, and Edward Norton.
Hey,
That's pretty dope.
Mister, when you die, can I have your signed Rounders poster?
Absolutely.
You heard it here, Kevin.
I have had it. I think I've had that when poker got big in 2003 with Moneymaker. It became mainstream, and I think what was so cool about that, and Bearded Geek touched on it, but when Moneymaker won, it was a no-name, non-professional poker player that won a $10,000 main event and won $1 million.
Up the poker world. Blew up the poker
told
world.
everybody that, shit, if I can play poker well, I can win $1 million for 10 grand or whatever. It was 10 grand at the time, which still is, but there were so many different events at the World Series of Poker that you could pay X amount of dollars and you can win this and become mainstream everywhere. And then it became, Moneymaker and Jamie Gold and Greg Raymer and all these people, Josh Aryeh and Eric Hashem, where you remember all these names because that's when it started to blow up. Joseph Hashem, excellent player, 2005 winner, and Greg Raymer with his alligator sunglasses that you can't see his eyes. It's those no-name professionals or non-professional people that were like, shit, they just won. Raymer won, what was it? Probably 10 to 9 million, or no, Jamie Gold won $9 million. So it just kept going up and up every single year because more entrants, more people, and so forth. So they went from $1 million winner to a $10 million first prize. That's absolutely insane. That's crazy.
It is.
So when it comes down to it, starting with Mikey, who's your favorite poker player, professional poker player?
Man,
I was going to ask the same thing.
Bro, there is a lot.
I got mine right away.
Name one. You can only name one.
I know who Kevin's is. Daniel Negreanu. It's got to be Negreanu.
It's Negreanu.
You mean the guy that looks like Edward Norton?
Right, it does. Mine's the magician.
Just basically looks like fucking Worm.
I have an autograph. I don't have it. Shit. It's out there, but I have an autographed card that was in poker. It was a poker set from years ago, but it's Antonio Esfandiari, the magician. I always liked Antonio Esfandiari and the way he played, and that
Who's
was a
yours,
good one.
Steve?
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Titty is definitely my close second for sure.
I love Jennifer Titties.
Yep. So rankings, I'm gonna rank this a 9.5. I love this movie. It is a great movie. I could sit and watch this movie anytime it comes on.
Absolutely.
I'll actually hunt for this movie on streaming services. So yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
9.5 for me. How about you, Steve?
I'm going to be right there with you. 9.5, damn near perfection. Just a couple things through the film that just bugged me. That's just small bullshit that shouldn't matter. But 9.5, solid. Mikey the Freak.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Steve. 9.5, 9.5. Just because the biggest scene is where they catch a hanger, where he's dealing off the bottom of the deck, and it's at a. They're going to be a cheat, and they're with a bunch of cops, so you know they're going to get busted, or either we just didn't know if he's going to get thrown in jail, and or they're going to get beat the shit out of, or something like that. So it was kind of obvious what was going to happen with the scene, so I didn't really like that scene per se. But yeah, I mean it's a great movie all around. Famke Janssen. I love the accent, smoking hot like always.
Yes. All right.
Love the
How
movie.
about a little fun facts? Worm was originally supposed to smoke, but an avid non-smoker, Edward Norton, refused. So he had
So
the
I had
toothpick.
the toothpick.
Yeah.
That's really funny because he smokes in. I just watched Birdman, and he smokes in that.
He smokes in Birdman?
Yes.
Nev Campbell turned down the role of Joe.
They wanted Nev Campbell to play Matt Damon's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That would have changed the aspect of the film completely because Nev Campbell is a completely different actress than.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The state police poker game scene was filmed at the Elks Club in Ridge Park, New Jersey. So there you go.
I'll have to go there and check that out, see if it's still there.
Yeah. So there are your fun facts. Steve, what do we have for a soundtrack on this movie?
Oh, man. This is your soundtrack. The soundtrack album is by Christopher Young. I'm pretty sure it's all instrumental. Rounders, Brass Brazilians, Pasadena, The Catch, Lady in Black, Alligator Blood, Ode to Johnny Chan, All In, Kansas City Lowball, Railbirds, Topeka, Glowing Glimmer, Belly Buster, Worm, Finger Up Your Spine.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said spine.
Rosalie, Texas Hold'em, High Society, The Apple, Fold, and Rainbows.
All right.
At least they had a poker hand. I thought there'd be like a check raise or an all in or something. So they got a fold.
Yeah. All right, Mikey the Freak, what do we have for related reels? Sir?
Oh, such a great cast. I didn't know who to go with. I did so I did Edward Norton, Fight Club, Glass Onion, and American History X. And of course, he's the Incredible Hulk that we want to forget about. Matt Damon, Dogma.
Matt Damon.
Bruce, Born Identity. Born Identity. And Air. If you haven't seen Air is a great movie.
World Police. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt.
Euro Trip.
Yeah, Euro Trip. Scotty doesn't know. John Malkovich. So I did
my club.
Burn After Reading.
The pat whenever the fact I want.
So Burn After Reading, excellent cast as well. Dangerous Liaisons, one of his older movies, and being John Malkovich.
Or are you not tired from last time I got done sticking it in you?
All right. Well, as we come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
The last podcast you want. Tip reveal, John Staff. Thank you all for coming. If you didn't, better luck next time.
All right. If you like this show, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumb and hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What was your favorite part of the movie? If you like Rounders, if you didn't like Rounders, rewatch it and tell us that you did like it because it's a great movie.
Rounders, shut mouth.
Just shut your mouth. Make sure you check out the Mod Squad Network, which is the sister channel to Back to the Retro Review, where we have a horror show, a movie show, a gamer show, an interview show, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. All right, that does it for this episode
like Borat. It sounded like Borat.
You're sliding. You're sliding from Teddy KGB into Borat.
That is not true. That is not true, y'all.
Teddy KG Borat. That's what you are right now. All right, that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak and Steve, I am the Bearded Geek saying, if I don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.
Chick.